Hi, I'm Lesley Logan with OnlinePilatesClasses.com, and today we're going to do a full body mat Pilates workout that's great for beginners. And even if you're not a beginner, this is going to hit all the right spots. Make sure to subscribe for more full-length workouts, tutorials, principles, and all things Pilates. Welcome to OnlinePilatesClasses.com, the most supportive Pilates-loving community across the globe. Enjoy new weekly classes from our amazing teachers. Download the OnlinePilatesClasses.com app today. So we're going to get started right off the bat. We're going to do something called the half roll back, and then we'll do an elbow slip. And these two exercises are going to be your go-to exercises for any time you are not able to do something we're doing yet, so that you're still moving and grooving and everything will become compounding. So when you revisit this workout, you'll be able to do those things. So the half roll back, you start sitting. Bring your knees tight together and your feet on the ground. If your feet are too close, it's not going to work out. If they're too far away, that's not going to work either. So you find like a happy medium, about a 90-degree angle on the knee. Grab the back of your thigh, sit up really tall, okay? So just because we're rounding doesn't mean we're slouching. We're going to sit up nice and tall, and we'll pull our waist back. And then you're going to keep this round shape. You're going to pull your waist back to round up. If your feet came off the ground, I don't worry so much if it's the toes, but if both feet came off, it means our hip flexors are getting a little involved. So round back and round up. If your tailbone could chase your heels, it would chase it back here, and then it would stay reaching for your heels as you come up. So we're never sticking our booty behind us, right? Round back and up. 3 more of these. Double check that your rounding is coming from your waist and not your shoulders, right? And so those collarbones get nice and wide. So this is your half roll back. And again, you can replace anything we do today with this, and that's going to help strengthen you for tomorrow. Now, the elbow slip. You are in your half roll back position, but on your forearms, okay? And you're going to do is go ahead and just sink down for me a little bit. Notice what that feels like. And then over push into the mat. And then try to find this happy medium where your tailbone is reaching for your heels, your feet and knees are squeezing together, and your arms are here, but you're not resting on them. Then, without leaning, you slide one arm forward, you pull it back. And then the other arm comes forward, and you pull it back. So what is leaning? It literally means you slide an arm forward and you lean to the side. So we're just going to go whoop and pull it back. And it's this funny little exercise that if anyone walks by you while you're doing it, they're going to think, what is this person doing? Nothing. But inside, you know better. Your abs are burning. Your inner thighs are working hard. Your outer hips are working hard. If you want more, you go both arms forward, pull it back. Both arms pull it back. Both arms grab that leg and roll up. All right, so those are your 2 go-tos in case anything we do is not in your practice yet. So bring your knees into your chest for the 100. We're going to keep our knees in today. So you'll lift your head and chest up, and your arms come by your side. Your heels are squeezing together. Go ahead and rest that head and chest down. If you felt this in your neck, it's a sign we're not curling up from our center. So feel your low ribs in the back take up space. Take a big inhale into those low ribs. Exhale. Feel that space take up in those low ribs. Your neck should feel nice and loose. Pull those knees in and pump your arms vigorously. So you inhale for 5 pumps and you exhale for 5 pumps. If you ever have to set your head down, set it down and then curl back up from your center, okay, when you can. So take the breaks you need, but keep pumping those arms. If the knees being into your chest is too much today, you place those knees and feet down on the mat and you push them down, squeeze those legs together. Inhale for 5, exhale for 5. If you do have your knees into your chest, every exhale, pull those knees into you more. Inhale, keep them where they are. Exhale, pull those knees into you more. We're training those abdominal muscles to hold on to our legs for us. 2 more cycles of breathing. 1 more. And rest. All right. Straighten the legs out on the mat. So we're doing the roll up. You can go back to that half roll back right now, or you're going to try this with me. We'll do this in parts so you can find the part that works best for you in your practice today. Arms up to the sky. Go ahead and pull your shoulders off your back and then put them on your back. And then put them too much on your back and notice how you pop your ribs up. So you want to find that in between where your shoulders are on your back, taking up space on the mat. Take an inhale here, squeeze your legs tight together, flex your ankles strongly, and then lift just your head and chest up. So this is that 100 we just did, that 100's curl. You can see your feet, you can see your legs working. Lower it back down. That might be your roll up today. You might just curl up, get here, and come back down. Okay? If you're like, I think I could do a little bit more, then here we go. We squeeze those legs tight together, roll up and over our own legs. We pulse 1, 2, 3. Those pulses are not the president's hamstring stretch. It's that your waist is pulling back like that half roll back, and you're doing like a crunch from your center to get an extra stretch of your spine, not the hamstrings. And you pull the waist back and go down. If you have a hard time getting up and over those legs, you're not alone. That is why there's a strap on this mat. So if I was alone today, I would use it. But I know not everyone has a mat with a strap. So we're doing this on our own, squeezing our legs together. Now here's a secret. Squeeze your legs and exhale at the hardest part. Fun, right? When you squeeze your legs and exhale at the hardest part, especially your glutes, squeeze your outer hips in. It allows you to get up and over. All right, we're going to do 2 more. It's all right if your legs are coming off the mat, especially if you're new. It happens. We have to strengthen our hamstrings and glutes, and that's what we're going to do the rest of this workout. Thankfully, it's a full body workout. Come all the way up to sitting. So we're going to go into what I call a tree. So it's an exercise you'd experience on the reformer. But I really like it for teaching ourselves, 1, how to actually get really good flexibility of our hamstrings, and 2, how to turn this muscle on. So sit up tall and hold the back of your leg. And then you'll just straighten and bend. So we're just going to do a few of these. And what you will notice is how your flexibility is. So if your leg keeps doing this, that is cheating yourself. I'd rather you get stuck here than straighten it down here, all right? And we're just stretching the back of the leg. And as we push this leg into our hands and our hands into our leg, it is actually activating that hamstring and glute, which is so nice. Now, stay up here, walk up to your ankle. So remember that roll up we just did? If that was a challenge for you, we get to add your arms in. So you're gonna round forward and walk down your leg. And then you're going to walk up your leg. So if you were struggling with that roll up, now you have some help. You're going to use your arms connected to your back. So we're working the upper back muscles and the abdominals. And you're going to walk back up. Let's do 1 more together. Really giving this hamstring some time to wake up because it's going to need it for this next exercise. Come up to the top, sit tall, place that leg down, grab the other one. Now, we all have one leg that's more flexible than another. My left leg is the one that's not as flexible, so it feels really tight to do this. Walk up, flex and point a couple times, and we do the same thing we just did. We round forward, we use our leg to walk down, the leg goes to the sky, and then we use our leg and our stomach muscles to walk up. This leg that's on the ground is pushing down, so you're working that hamstring and glute. Walk down and walk up. Ooh! And it's okay if you struggle a little bit. You know, it's important that you know that, especially if you're new, you're gonna struggle at something that's new to you. And it's all important information. Once you've done 3, lie on your back. Let's take your left leg up. Arms down by your side. If you happen to be on a mat with handles, you'd push up into those handles. I'm gonna keep my arms down by the side just so you can follow along with me. This leg that's up, if you cannot get it straight up or you're feeling like it's hiked, lower it down halfway, okay? We want a straight leg without our hip flexors freaking out. Then you're gonna flex the foot that's on the bottom, circle this leg 5 circles. Now you go across the body, out to the side and around. How low you go is up to you. How high you come is also up to you. If you're feeling a little hip click happening, that's a sign that we don't have enough glute hamstring. So let's do a couple more together with that in mind. So squeeze that outer hip in and then circle that leg. Boom. Releases that hip flexor right away. Now after 5 in one direction, we do 5, you guessed it, in the other direction. So these do not have to be huge. They're as big as your opposite hip stays down and your shoulders are down. Go ahead and lower that leg and lift the other one. Again, full permission to do ovals on the wall across the room instead of circles up to the ceiling. This is your practice. It's really important to me that we find ways to celebrate what is possible in your body today and not focus on what's not, because this is not our only time doing Pilates together. We're going to revisit these exercises, and they get more possible with each time. Reverse your circles. And remind yourself, every side of your body has different abilities too. So you might have one side that's a little smarter than the other, right? Be kind to it. Bring your knees into your chest, rock and roll up to sitting. Okay, option to hold the start position for our next exercise or go back to the half roll up elbow slip. So if you can, you're gonna grab your ankles. If this is too hard for you or you have anything going with your knees, if grabbing your ankles is not possible, anything's going on with your knees, you're gonna grab the back of your leg. Just remember, we're not doing shoulders in the ear. We're not hanging out like this. We're the tallest round shape we can be with our elbows wide, right? And you can just hold here, or you can even just go 1 inch back, 1 inch forward. It's easier said than done. Otherwise, here's the goal. We're gonna rock back to our shoulders and rock on up without our feet touching the mat. All right, so you're gonna either grab your thighs or grab your shins, rock back and up. Now, bonus points if your feet don't fly away from you. Bonus points. Let me know in the comments if you're able to get those bonus points. The heels, the space between the heels and the seat stays the same the whole time. And your feet stop before they touch the mat, but because of your center. Let's do a couple more. If you're a glutton for a little extra, I know some of you probably are, elbows on the knees. This does not make it easier. It makes it harder because they have to stay on the knees. But this one is very revealing. If your elbows come off on your way back, it's because you're losing your upper body. If they come off on the way up, you're losing your lower abdominals, right? Sit all the way up. All right, here's the deal. You can just lie down on your back to set up for this next exercise, or we can do a transition. So what I love about Pilates is you can transition from one exercise to the next. It makes it a stronger workout. So you're gonna grab your left shin with me and reach your right leg out. And then you're just gonna roll back to where you were for that hundreds curl. If you're like, no transition for me, I just fell over, start with your knees into your chest, lift your head and chest up, grab one leg, reach the other one out. Elbows are wide, so you should feel like you're doing a row from your upper back muscles. Neck should feel really loose. Core is holding us up. Pull on this leg. 1, 2, switch. 1, 2. 1, 2. 1, 2. So we're getting a nice little stretch of the hip, and the leg that's out there is challenging our center. We'll do one more time each side, and then bring your knees into your chest, rest. If grabbing the shins is ever a problem, you can always grab the thighs, okay? So remember that for this next exercise, the double leg stretch. I'm gonna teach this to you in parts because it's so easy to cheat on and then you're like, we're not doing anything. I would never let you waste a good exercise. So you're gonna grab your legs, you're gonna keep your knees into your chest, and you're just gonna take your arms up overhead, circle them out to the side, grab your legs. So as the arms go up overhead and circle around, does your chest move? I hope not. So you're reaching up for some help. You're reaching around, you grab on. One more. Okay, rest. Look right and left. We're gonna add the legs in now. So you're gonna lift your head and chest up. You're gonna reach your arms up by your ears. Your legs go out to the high diagonal. You circle around, pull in. So we are not dropping everything down and circling, pulling in. We're gonna lift everything up and circle around. 3 more. Reach. And 2, reach, and 1. It's funny how those add up. All right, we're gonna do a little crisscross together. If you know crisscross a different way, and you, after seeing this, want to do that because it's a little bit more on your level, you can. I'll show that to you in a second. But I love to show people crisscross like this because it helps you twist from the right place. So interlace your hands behind your head, push your head into your hands, hands into your head. Bring your right knee into your chest, elbows are wide. This is important. I can put my elbow on my knee without twisting. I'm just turning my neck, right? So I'm gonna keep my elbows wide and I'm gonna try to pull my armpit to my knee. So left armpit to right knee, set it down, right armpit to left knee. So keep those elbows pulling behind you and then trying to curl your shoulder to your knee. Now, if you wanna make this a little bit harder, you're gonna take the leg that's on the mat and try to reach it out like we did in the single leg stretch and twist. The chest stays up the whole time if you can. So that means we're not dropping down as we twist. One more time each side and rock and roll. Whew. All right, spine stretch forward. If you can get your legs straight out in front of you, that is great. The width of your mat. If you need to bend them a little bit, totally fine. Hands go between your legs and you sit up really tall. So real tall. Now, these hip points, they're gonna wanna touch your thighs. These hip points need to stay going up to the sky, okay? So as you round forward, you might get stuck because your pelvis wants to tip forward. Keep your sacrum,
that flat part of your butt going straight down, and you round forward, and then let's do those pulses again. 1, 2, 3, lift. And again, 1, 2, 3, lift. It's called spine stretch forward, not hamstring stretch. Dig those heels down, wrap those outer hips in. Gets a little taller. And then 1, 2, 3, lift. Last time. Awesome. Okay, flip onto your stomach. So we do all of that so that we can work against gravity here. So Pilates is not a core exercise. It's a full body exercise in every exercise. But now we're nice and warmed up to face gravity. So we're going to do a Swan Prep together. You're going to layer the hands on top of each other, forehead on your hands. If you have back issues, separate your legs, but make sure you spin those inner thighs up. No back issues, legs together, but again, inner thighs up. It should feel a little bit pigeon-toed in your thighs, okay? Reach your tailbone down towards your heels. So that's going to pick the frontal hip points up. Doesn't mean you won't be touching the mat with your stomach, but what it does mean is we're not dropping our hip points down and gripping our lower back. So head on your forehead, head on your hands, shoulders out of your ears, tailbone reaches long, and then press those feet down, okay? Now, what you're going to do without shoving your lower back into the mat is lift your hands, head and chest up off the mat. It'll hover and lower back down. If when you did this, your legs came up, that's okay. It happens. But what we want is to reach that tailbone down and keep the legs down as our hands, head and chest lift and lower. And lift and lower. 3 more. 2. And 1. So bend your knees, windshield wiper your legs. I really want us to find this extension in our upper back because I know our lower back can do it. We need the extension in our upper back to reverse all that time in front of our screen. So ready, we're going to do 3 more. Feet down, tailbone long, lift your hands, head and chest up, and lower down. If you're here and you go to lift up and you get 1 inch and you have to come back down, that's amazing. Celebrate what you can do. You don't have to look as high as me at all. We all have different bodies. Thank goodness. All right, bend your knees, windshield wiper your legs. Prop yourself up on your forearms, single leg kick. This is probably one of my most favorite exercises on the mat, aside from what we're gonna do next, which is a thigh stretch. So you're here on your elbows like we did elbow slip, right? But remember how we don't wanna sink into our shoulders and we also don't wanna push too far away. So you pull your heart forward, tailbone reaches long, and you kick one heel to your seat, 1, 2, then 1, 2. Keep the toes pointed the whole time. Kick, kick, and kick, kick. If you find yourself going side to side, like a little doo-doo, like this, high, kick less, reach your tailbone more, okay? So we want to keep those frontal hip points lifting away from the mat. That doesn't mean they're off the mat, but the energy of them is going away from the mat. 1 more time each side. You should get a nice little stretch of your hip flexors, and you should feel your hamstrings and glutes getting a little workout. Sit back, child's pose, round your spine. Joseph Pilates had a child's pose. He put his head towards his knees and you reach back and grab your ankles. Rest is over. Up on your knees. If you need a longer rest, of course you can hit pause, right? So thigh stretch. If you cannot do this on your knees, you can lie on your back and do a shoulder bridge. We're going to do that in a second, so we'll meet you there. So you're here on your knees. They're a fist distance apart. So I'm hugging them towards each other, but they're not touching, right? Arms up to the sky. Lower the arms to lean back and lift up. Now, super important you don't become like a wave. So you lower, lean back, you're a flat, straight line from head to knees, right? And then you lift everything up. Reach those knees towards each other. If you feel anything in your knees when you lean back, we need a little bit more of your midline. So you can grab like a yoga block or a cushion from your couch, squeeze that as you go back. I promise you'll feel less in those knees. You'll get way more muscles. Our bodies love to avoid the stretch. 1 more time. All right, shoulder bridge. So as you notice, we're only doing a few reps of everything, and that's because it's about the quality of the work, not the quantity of the work. So you're on your back, knees and feet are a fist distance apart, just like you had in your thigh stretch. It's the exact same exercise. You're gonna roll your hips up and lower them down. What's nice about this one is you might notice which leg is stronger. So maybe on your thigh stretch, you felt one leg kind of not feeling the same as the other. This shoulder bridge will reveal that to you. So you can go up and down like this, or we're gonna add on. We're gonna lift the hips up and hold, stay looking at the ceiling,
lift one foot up 1 inch, set it down, other foot up. So it's tempting to look around the room or at your knees or at me. For the purpose of your neck, keep it long, look straight up, and just lift 1 foot 1 inch, then set it down. And 1 inch is very small. Think like a millimeter, okay? Very small. 2 more times each side. And roll it down. Whew. So a lot of Pilates is done to strengthen the back body, even when we're doing things on our side or when we're in flexion on our back. So side kicks, you're gonna lie on your back, on your side at the back edge of the mat. Elbow in line with shoulder, in line with hip. And then your feet come to the front edge of your mat. If you're on a regular yoga mat or Pilates mat, then take the feet off the mat. See how my foot is off the mat, right? And then this hand can go right here. Okay, if this bothers your neck to prop up like this, you can put it here. But ideally, we want to get here someday, right? If it's all possible. This hand can be here, shoulder on your back. If you're more advanced, hand goes behind your head. Got it? I'm gonna put my hand here, so I'm with all the newbies. Ready? Push the bottom leg down, lift the top leg up, point the foot. Keep the top foot pointed, kick it to the front 1, 2, and to the back 1, 2, and to the front, and to the back. 1, kick and kick. If your chest is moving back and forth, make the kick smaller and reach your leg longer. It's not about kicking your toes to your face or how far the leg goes behind you. We want from the crown of the head to the tailbone to be a tall, strong line, no movement. 2 more. Last one. Hold it back there. Shoulders out of your ears. Circle the leg. 5, 4. Little circles. 3 to the back. 2, 1, reverse. Push that bottom leg down and rest. Woo. Flip over to the other side. So in Pilates, one of the things it does really well is strengthens our side body. Our side body is key for balance. Balance is key for falling better. That's why we do Pilates, so that we have better balance and do life better, right? Hand in front, same setup. Push the bottom leg down, shoulders out of the ears, and then kick the top leg to the front and reach it to the back. Now, every side is different. So my left side, when it's on the bottom, it's harder for me to keep my torso still. I have to push my bottom leg down more. I have to think about it more. And that's okay. It's okay to have one side that's a little bit smarter than the other. That other side just needs more celebration, more encouragement. Doesn't need judgment from us going, oh, that side. Hold that leg back. Draw 5 little circles back here. These are small. They're little. Your tailbones are reaching down towards the back leg. And after you've done 5 in each direction, you come on up. All right, last 2 things together. Ready? So we're going to do a little teaser prep, which is going to look a lot like your half roll back. So feel free to grab that in. You're going to have your legs together, but this leg is going to straighten out. You're going to squeeze them tight. If you need to squeeze a ball here, that's fine. And then your arms are going to go here harder, or hold your legs. You're going to roll back to your lower back hits the mat. You're going to come up, or arms free. They're reaching for your toes, and come up. We're not going all the way down, just a little bit back and a little bit up. One more time. Bonus points for switching midair. Those legs. Ready? Roll back and roll up. If you're using your hands on your legs, that is fine. Make sure you're pulling your arms from where your arms meet your back. All right. Flip on over. Come on to all 4s. So, option to be here on all 4s, reaching your right arm forward, your left leg back, holding for at least 2 counts. Set it down. Switch. Set it down, switch. This is a really good way to challenge your core against gravity. Next option, onto your forearms, holding a forearm plank, okay? Next option is hands on the mat in a plank, holding, and then if you're joining me, we're gonna do some push-ups. These are Pilates push-ups, so the elbows go behind us. Elbows go back, and we come up. That's 1. Go ahead and set your knees down. If you're like, oh, I cannot do that, it's okay. Think about it. Or if you needed this help, I did when I was learning these, I had to call them elbow bends. So we're going to do 2 elbow bends this time. Elbow bends back 1 and 2. Set those knees down. 1 more set. If you're doing the opposite arm and leg, keep going. Here we go. Find your plank. Elbow bends 1, 2. This is it. 3. Boom.
Come all the way up to standing.
You made it. Last exercise we have together. So hands go behind your head, heels together, toes apart, relax your shoulders. You're going to elevate your heels and then reach them down. So hugging those heels nice and tight, okay? Push your head into your hands, hands into your head. So as we do these, you should feel more inner thigh and outer thigh. At onlinepilatesclasses.com, we love to assist you in your practice, in your celebration of the movement that you can do. We do this by holding you accountable to your workouts. Yes, we do. And by offering an amazing community where you can actually film yourself and get feedback on your form. So maybe you did this workout today and we're like, am I doing this right? Well, if you're an OPC member, I can help you make sure you are. So at onlinepilatesclasses.com, we have a fun, amazing intro offer for you that you can get in the links below. Use the promo code YouTube. Bring your heels together, arms down by your side. Stand with your feet parallel and a bit apart. Roll your shoulders back. Take a moment to scan your body and see how you actually feel right now. I bet it's better than when you came over and did this. I bet you feel more solid in your feet, feel more connected to you and who you are. And I want you to take a moment to celebrate yourself for the movement you did do today. Not the movements you couldn't do yet, but the movements you did do. Because what you are able to do is a strength that helps you with everything you can't do, not just in Pilates, but in your life. Thank you so much for letting me teach you. Have an amazing day.